Hi, I'm Dr. Gary Sachs, and I'm here with Theresa Schmidt. We're both from Sachs Wellness Center. And today we have come together to talk about a really big topic, and that's stress. And we're going to talk about areas that we think are really current, going on now. And we know there's more to stress than what we can possibly cover in the few minutes that we have.
Yeah.
But I know that you had something in mind that you wanted to talk about.
I do. I think it's important that people understand that stress has such an influence on our bodies and what kind of influences they can be seen, and not even realize this is a stress related thing, because it feels like their gut, or it feels like their muscles, it feels like their neck, and they don't always, they can be like, yeah, my job's kind of stressful, and not even put together that is a stress-related issue, a symptom from stress. I see a fair amount of people, and a lot of the people I see are teachers and nurses, particularly. Those are very stressed out groups right now. A lot of it is lingering from COVID, from being shut down, from the kids being home, from people being sick in the hospitals, and now I think in both groups, but especially the nurses, I think, lack of help. People, so they're short-staffed, and the result is a lot of stress. So,
people want to do a good job. People want to feel like they're doing good, and the people you're talking about are often in position where they can't. It can't meet the level of care or concern, that they feel inside ought to be provided.
Absolutely, and even that itself causes stress. So I think what I wanted to do was talk about the manifestation of that stress. And one of the biggest areas that stress makes itself known is with the adrenals. The adrenal glands are our stress glands, and so when the adrenals get stressed, we have fatigue, of course, but we also have an increase in our histamine responses. There's more inflammation because we can't keep inflammation under control as well. So people feel like they're achy and sore and stiff, and everything hurts more. But a further thing than that even is when we stress, we will change digestion too. Digestion itself changes. When we stress, we don't make stomach acid. Because when we're stressing, I always call this the deer running. We're the deer running. So it is that same fight or flight response. And so when we're in fight or flight, I always like to remind people, what doesn't the deer do when it's running? So if that deer's running from a hunter, it doesn't stop to eat. It doesn't stop to poop. It doesn't stop to sleep. It doesn't stop to have sex. It doesn't stop to do anything else. It is running. So all those other things get put on the back burner, including the body's not going to put energy towards those things. You're not going to put energy into making stomach acid, making digestive enzymes, if that person's in fight or flight. So then what happens is we don't digest properly, we get bloating, we get gassy, we get constipation, we can have alternating diarrhea with that, depending on how much stress we're actually under. And things just cascade from there. And people forget to think that, oh yes, I've been stressed, that could affect my digestion. But it absolutely does. It throws blood sugar off. So somebody can tell me, their body's, they're eating good, and they generally are eating good, but their blood sugar's showing sky high. When we're in fight or flight, the liver's constantly dumping sugar into the bloodstream so you can run. And we may not
give
run.
Those muscles energy.
And we may not run, but we'll have that, the body's getting you ready to run for stress. So those are the repercussions, is blood sugar goes up, digestion goes down, aches and pains, things like that. And it can all be tied back to that stress. So I think knowing that is half the battle.
And to know that, you've really drawn a picture of going full circle, because then what happens is your performance, your ability to be on top, to do your best suffers.
And you can't even sleep. Lots of people are like, I'm so exhausted during the day, then I go to bed and boop, eyes are open. Yep, can't sleep. That's all part of this because they're in that sympathetic mode. Parasympathetic, the opposite of fight or flight, is rest, digest, and heal. So if you're in sympathetic totally, you can't rest, you can't digest, and you can't heal. So they don't even sleep well. And that just adds to the whole stress burden.
Yeah. So we know we can't change the shortage of staff, you know, or, you know, some of the demands, but the part that I think you play and what natural healthcare plays is to be able to say, okay, the source may have come from circumstances outside, but then the source got translated into some fault within the body, not being able to, or some, I don't know, undue amount of demand on that part of the body that it couldn't possibly keep up with.
Right.
And that's the part that we can help identify. That's the part that we can help strengthen, which then makes people in a better position to be able to handle everything else that's going on in their lives.
Exactly. And I think we all can attest to this. When we stress, we almost do the opposite of what we should do.
Yeah.
We should go to bed and rest. We should exercise and burn off that excess adrenaline that makes us irritated and agitated and exhausted. And we should sleep, we should drink water, we should eat better, we should do all those things, and we do none of them when we're stressed.
No, we want to have more alcohol and sweets.
and drugs. I mean, you know, we've got an opioid epidemic for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, we really do, and it's really bad.
We do.
So, I mean, it all pretty much ties together. So what we can help do is help recognize what the problem is, what the situation is, and help them actually get better, help the adrenals, support the digestion, support sleeping, that kind of thing. Lifestyle suggestions, things like that. So we really can help with this problem, but a lot of people just don't put those two things together, so they don't know to ask for that kind of help.
And you know, it's easy to get to a point where you feel kind of helpless because it's been a hard situation. You're not feeling good, and you don't really feel like you have the energy to, you know, rise above.
Or the motivation to. Yep, exactly. Yep. So if you're feeling anything like that, please let us know because we can help with that.
Yep. Or if you have any questions for us, you know, please feel free to give us a call at 989-732-7000, or you can reach out through our website, www.sexwellnesscenter.com.